What's going on, guys? What's cracking? I know it's been a skinny minute since y'all seen me, so let's just do a little update. And you guys already saw the video, the title of the video. You probably see my Instagram. Let's just go look at it. So here it is, guys. My BenPack GP7 lift. So there's 3 different grades of this, right? And I'll kind of go in a little bit of detail here, try to get as much information as you can. These are specifically designed for home use. Now they can be used every day, just like any other lift can, but the difference is you can notice right off the bat, see how thin the columns are. And you're probably thinking, well, Ryan, what's that affect? Well, it does affect a couple things. First off, maximum lift or maximum load is only 7,000 pounds. For me, even like an F-150 and stuff can go on this. I'd be okay. Or my Supra or whatever. That helps me. I was going to go with max jacks originally, but it doesn't go high enough. And that's only 5,000. I at least have 2,000 more pounds to work with. And they said they test them at 300% over what they're rated at. Or they said they test them at 300%. So this we technically, they said they rate them at 21,000 pounds. And the going guy's like, I put my F350 on them. I'm not going to do that just for concrete reasons. But he's like, yeah, dude, don't worry. So this thing only weighs 3,400 pounds. I thought that was pretty cool. But the columns are skinnier because there's only one hydraulic cylinder and it's up above to help keep these skinnier so you can fit your cars in here and things of that nature and save as much room as possible. So there's only one hydraulic cylinder. So the lines only come over here, run down and come over to your pump assembly. I just put fluid in it right now. I just found out that you can pretty much use damn near anything in these things. I just literally went and got automatic transmission fluid from Walmart and dumped it in there. It takes about 3.7 gallons. You have a little dipstick level on there and you have a little thing telling you here what's the max and minimum on it. Can't see it, but you get a rough idea by looking inside with a flashlight and then use the dipstick to get a more exact amount. I try to put up as close to max as possible because I don't ever want to get air pocketing or any bubbles in the system. I'm assuming you have to bleed it. I don't know how that works, but I'll have to work that all out. I have to read through the book a little bit more. If you can see, the only thing we don't have yet is power. So hopefully I'll have power by tomorrow. My buddy Tony, Stance Stagger Media, is coming up to wire in the entire setup. And here's one of the problems. So originally I was gonna put the lift over here, right? Because I'm over here most of the time, that's where my cars are at. The problem is though, if I put the lift here, you can see, and I can put that pump on either side, it still would have pinned, you can see the markings here on the floor, it would have pinned it up against the wall. So once I center that up, I'd be pinned against the wall trying to get these tires off. I don't wanna do that. And another thing was, I like to be able to, I have 2 cars I can store here, then I have a working area here. This was already taking up space because this is my center working spot and I like it that way because going to the toolboxes back and forth. Could I move that over here and put this over that side? Yes, I could have. But would it have just been just as tight? Yes. So I prefer this setup. I'm gonna clean up some more things out here too. That's still unorganized. There's boxes and stuff. Once Kat's car's done, I'll be able to take all that stuff off the wall. Probably gonna make some organizing racks for this side to help clean things up a little bit. Get another bench over there that goes out like an L shape so I can use that as a workspace. This goes up to 68 inches, which is that blue line. So what is that? That's roughly 5'8" I'm only 5'9", so I'd have to duck a little bit. Nothing crazy, but that's the same thing BB uses for his. It's still better than like max jacks or anything else. And the fact I even have a lift is just mind blowing to me at this point. So I'll take whatever I can get. The lift is around $3,100 or $3,150, I believe, shipped to your door. Now here's the catch. I had it delivered to my cousin's warehouse because to unload it, you need a forklift. And I don't have a forklift unless you get an installer. So if you set it up the same day the installer is supposed to come unload it, they'll take care of all of that. Me, I personally installed it myself. You're probably asking, Ryan, why aren't you show installing it? Because it was miserable and I didn't feel like it. I was already it was a lot of work. I was frustrated most of the time. I just wanted to get it done, so I didn't record any of it. I'm happy now that it's all set up, but it was definitely hard. Getting that top bar on was a pain because, like I said, unlike most of the over the top with the cables and stuff, this has the hydraulic cylinder and everything. That's actually somewhat bracing. Most of the 2 posts with the hydraulics or with the lines and everything going on the top, there's no bracing. I mean, that's a thin piece of sheet metal. That weighed like 350 pounds. We had to go get a duck lift my neighbor told me about. Rented one of those to lift it up. Maybe if I have the picture, I can flip it up. It was not fun. That was probably the scariest part, putting that top piece on. So it wasn't so bad. We have about 3.5 inches total left from hitting the ceiling too. But overall, I'm really, really happy. I'm hoping to get it up here in the air soon. Arms went on nice. They call it biometric. So they're asymmetric arms. They have their own proprietary name. They call it biometric, but the arms are kinked. So you can push the car forward or backwards in different areas and it helps center the car better. BB was explaining it to me. He said it's just better overall for lining up your car and centering it up. Drilling those in was not fun. Yeah, and you want to stay as far away from the crack line as you can. That's about as good as I could get. After talking to a couple masonries and guys that have these in, they're like, dude, I've bolted them over top of it, don't worry. But you know me, I'm overthinking everything. I just want to be safe. So I looked it up. My concrete, when I started drilling through it, was, and you need 4 inches minimum, or 4 1/4 exactly. I got down 5.5 inches, 6 inches, and I never got through it. So, and the bolts only go down so far. I think the total depth I think they get to, if you put the nut the whole way up, was like 5 1/4. So I mean, I just went down 5 1/4, beat those down in, kept the nut up as high as I could, and then when you start to crank them down, obviously pulls it up because there's little legs that literally spread out and tighten itself in the concrete, and that was it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I shouldn't say that's it. It's a fuckload of work. It's a fuckload of work, guys. You really beat your body up trying to do it, but it was fun. It was definitely a good learning experience. The cables you can see are still like, yeah, they're not perfect. Once we tighten everything up, I'll get up there with a ladder when we start raising this thing. Because right now the cables are crazy because you have to put the bolts through first. You have to raise this up by hand. It clicks in place. The only way to release it now is to get power to it. So it's got to stay like that till I put power to it, which hopefully will be tomorrow. But guys, I digress some here. I'll flip over to tomorrow because I want to show talking like Tony and how we're going to wire it up here, and then show him hopefully putting a car on it. We're going to test it with either my Corolla or someone else's car or whatever. I'm not putting my Supra on it first. That's not going to happen. My luck, yeah, fuck, no way. So we'll test it on the Corolla. I believe that weighs like 3,100 pounds, and my Supra weighs 3,400. It's not much difference, but just to make sure, we'll test on that car. All right, guys, next day now, and like I said, Tony's here, Stanseger Media. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Follow right here, guys.
What up, man?
So what are we doing right now? We're doing electric, and what did you do?
Oh, so basically, I do electric full time, so that's my thing. So obviously, that was my job on this whole lift gig. So basically, we just ran a piece of SO cord, which is basically glorified, like heavy duty extension cord. And we ran it down and fed it right into basically the motor box. And Ryan put the lift in the middle, so we just ran it through the ceiling. And if you look over here to his panel, we dropped it down. His builder actually, he told his builder to put an extra pipe in there just to have an extra conduit, which is helping us out a lot, making life a little easy because it's very hot in his attic right now.
It's very hot. I feel bad for Tony. He was up there for 10 minutes. He's like, dude, I'm dripping. But there is that extra conduit pipe, guys. It's sort of just open pipe that goes the whole way up to the ceiling there and through the attic. And it's designed to go over to the basement, which is another conduit pipe. So when that time comes, it's easier to run wiring.
So he just had a stub up. And then like there's a stub up from the basement. So long story short, it wasn't like a continuous pipe, so it worked out perfect. We were able to just pull inside here, and he's got plenty of room to add whatever else you want from the basement. So
yes, we're so close. He's got to do, what, you have 3 wires?
yeah, 3 wires laying, the lift is gonna be working, baby.
Woo! All right, Tony, we made a couple fatal mistakes here, but there's an electrical mistake that I made and I didn't realize, so I didn't tell Tony. So what are we doing now?
So we wired up the lift and it started to work, and I said, hey Ryan, we need to make sure we test. It's basically a pressure relief bar. What do you call it?
It's a bar that literally it'll shut the whole lift off in case you keep lifting the car and it doesn't crush you. Because this lift will crush your car. It don't care. It don't care.
It's not gonna stop it. So long story short, we were about to test it, and he's like, oh yeah, I remember there's something in the book about that. So basically, from the factory, I guess most lifts, they put the switch in, the safety switch, but they don't wire the safety switch. So that's what we're about to do now. If you look here, it's basically a micro switch that's attached to a cable, which obviously runs all the way up to that bar. Long story short, this is a set of dry contacts. We're just gonna run one leg of the 208 power across this switch and break it. If it gets broken because a car hits it, it'll just stop the lift. But basically, the key to this, what we're trying to tell you guys is, make sure you wire this in, because obviously this will run without it, which I think is shitty on their part for letting it even run without this being wired up. This should be done from the factory, in my opinion. But don't just wire it up and be dumb and just run it. Make sure you wire this in. You'll thank yourself later.
Don't be a dumb like me. America.
America.
right, guys, as you can see, it's up in the air. We still have some room to go. I have someone coming again to put the garage door up and garage door open the whole way to the ceiling. I could do the side mount, but it doesn't make any sense because no matter what, I cannot kick it past that bar. If you can see here, I probably have another foot. Oh, let's look up here. Hold on, let me get you up on this. I probably got another 2 feet to go yet, and you can see right now my face is right with the wheel. So I mean, I'll be able to fully walk under this. So for the people who are like, is it going to go high enough? Yes. I'm blown away how high it goes. It says this would be the max height, 68 inches, which is blue tape here, which would make sense. I got a little bit more to go. Actually, the car's short enough that probably I'll max out the lift before the car will hit. So that makes me happy. I'm glad the car sits low. I'm glad this thing has what they call biometric arms also. So that lets you offset the car so I can sit it back a little bit further this way. 2 reasons. 1, easier to open the door. I do like to have door pads too. Number 2, it also makes it easier to sit the car back. So now it's not right over top of the car, so it's getting closer to the windshield where it slopes down, so it allows you to put the car up higher. It's a win-win situation. Plus I have more room back this way too. I could have put the lift back a little bit further, but just the way everything was working out, that's just where it has to sit. But once you put the garage door up, this won't be a problem. I mean, we're gonna put it the whole way to the ceiling. We've still got another, I don't know, 14 inches we need to go up, 16 inches to go. You can hear my voice. I'm like so excited right now. This is a dream come true. It's literally perfect. I can't thank Tony. I can't thank Eric Rowland. Everyone, thank you so much. My neighbor over here, TR, he's been fantastic. Such a good dude. There's a lot of stuff I wouldn't have been able to do without him the last couple of weeks here. Just having good people around you has been a blessing. I say blessing as I'm like the least religious person on earth. I never went to church ever. My wife, who is raised like devout Catholic, her and both her sisters went to Catholic school from the time they started kindergarten the whole way up through high school, and then she married me, who is not religious. So, but I am very blessed. I'm very fortunate. You know, I try to like, there's some things I'm like, I wish I did this and that, but at the same time, I have a freaking lift in my house. Like, not many people have this, not many. So like, I should be very, very, very happy for what I have. And again, I can't wait to mind you. I got a Sony camera coming. I'll be able to flip around. Right now I can't, so I have to literally stop the video every time. It's so dumb. Right, as you can see again, I mean above, look, I've got all that room still. I'm not even close. As you can see, if I'll put the camera right beside my face. It puts us right, this is like at the top of my mouth here, right at the top of the wheel. So, feels sturdy, doesn't feel uneasy. One thing we did notice though, if you can see here on the ground, these arms are rubbing. If you can see here, they are rubbing here. That one's not, but just on the backside here, and then up here, this one is rubbing in 2 spots. You can see it rubbing there, and it's starting to rub right here. We don't know if it's uneven concrete or what. I talked to my one friend who has this, and he said the same thing. It was doing it on his, only on this side. So I put in a tech support ticket. Hopefully I'll hear back from Ben Pack soon, and I'll give you guys an update. All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in today. I'm pumped. Like, I can't stop smiling. I just put it back down here again. I was able to polish up the exhaust. I was actually working on the brakes, and it's nice because I'm like, oh, I can get to it this way now. Like, I can just stand up here and get to stuff. It's just weird because, like, there's so much more room and more leverage, and just a lot better. My back doesn't hurt either. Again, once I'm able to raise up this guy right, let's go this way, right there, it'll be a lot better. That's the only thing really holding me back, getting up the whole way so I can fully stand under it like I am right now. That's going to be so nice. I can actually stand up under my car and work on it. That's amazing to me. But I digress, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I know it's been horrible with me posting videos. I just haven't had much content. Her car's still sitting in the shop. It's barely been worked on, to be honest. This thing doesn't have brakes still, so I have nothing to work on. I don't want to spend any more money, so it is what it is, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in, but hopefully I get something else to you soon. Later. Peace.